Hey, it's James Lynch back with another review video, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the OhSnap 5 and doing something a bit different where I'll be comparing it to the OhSnap 4. We'll kind of do a head-to-head and tell you which one I do think is better. I have used both, but before I do that, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. It helps out my channel a lot, and your support is greatly appreciated. Okay, so before we get into the comparison, let me just quickly tell you why I think OhSnap is the brand to use when it comes to phone grips. First and foremost, you're using your phone all the time. I think it's worth it to get a premium product that way for something that you're going to be using all the time. One of the things that drew me to OhSnap was the fact that both these grips, which are very similar, by the way, very thin. They're not going to be bulky in your pocket. They are versatile as well. One of the things I like is you can make this into like a kickstand. If you wanted to watch like some movies on here, that will land on the desk, which is great. And I love the fact that you can make it into a bit of a fidget spinner as well. Look at here. I got my finger in here and I can just twist my phone around. That's another kind of bonus on there as well. And these work with MagSafe phones. So I actually am using an S25 here, and it's got the MagSafe case. So that's how this is able to work with MagSafe as well. And let's be honest as well too, and I'm sure you've seen it, they have one of the best commercials of all time. I'll show you a little quick clip from that.
Hey dummy, still using one of these? Not anymore, Buster. Look, you're not dumb. And you're not a Buster. You just don't know. You don't know about Snap 4. This beautifully designed, incredibly thin, magically magnetic, spinny grip. This little bad boy slays all of these other one-trick grips.
So yeah, I was hooked in. Great commercial, great versatility with the phone grip, so I had to try it out. And to be fair, I did try out other things like a pop socket as well. Tried those for a little bit because I was, new to the MagSafe game, being an Android user. And I tried out the pop socket. I didn't like it. I ended up returning mine. You do get a little bit more color variety with those, but I just found they were too bulky and not as versatile as something like the OhSnap. Now the OhSnap's going to be a little bit more expensive. We'll talk about the pricing a bit later, but I think that was all clearly worth it in the end. Now I mentioned some of the features that both of these have, but one of the big differences with the OhSnap 5 compared to the OhSnap 4 is that it's got a stronger magnet on here as I'm even trying to pull this off. So this actually comes off. It's a magnet right there. The magnets are a lot stronger on this one. And with the OhSnap 4, it actually uses glue to stay on your phone. This one doesn't. So the nice thing about this one here is that you can swap these out, or let's say you need to, switch something out on your phone, or you need to take your case off for some reason. You're just able to go and snap it right back on there. And, it fits really well with the MagSafe too. So that's one of the big differences there. The other difference between these two is this one's actually a little bit thicker. So this comes in at 3 millimeters if you look at it there, and this one comes in at 2.5. But if you look right here on the camera, I'll do my best job coming up here. There's not a big difference between the two, honestly. And honestly, with both being in my pocket, I haven't noticed a difference. I used the OhSnap 4 for a couple months, and now I use the OhSnap 5, not noticing a huge difference there. One other feature they talk about with the OhSnap 5 compared to the OhSnap 4 is that it's softer. I guess it looks a little bit softer if you look at it here, but not by much. Like, I don't think that's a big deal. I think that's just another kind of feature that they're adding to make the OhSnap 5 look a little bit better. And you can see here, putting this against my fridge, these are both very strong magnets. They will stick. So this is great if you're at the gym and you want to do some filming, or you just want to put your phone aside. The magnet feature is nice, and that's something you just won't find on a lot of phone grip. And that's another reason why I prefer the OhSnap brand as opposed to any other phone brand out there as well. Now, there is a price comparison to both of these. The OhSnap 5 right now, if you go on their website, they actually have a discount. At the time I'm recording this, it's the holidays. $30 for the OhSnap, $30 US, and they've got a lot of different colors. They are in stock. I did notice for a while that they were out of stock of these, but you can see there plenty of options there for colors and everything else. So right now you're paying about $30 US, which I think is very reasonable for what this thing does. The OhSnap 4 you actually can't buy on the website right now. If you do want to buy it, you could probably go to eBay. Here in Canada, we have Best Buy, and you can still purchase it for about $30 Canadian. So it is a bit cheaper to go the OhSnap 4. That is one difference there. You are going to be paying a little bit more for the OhSnap 5 compared to the OhSnap 4, but that makes sense because it's newer and obviously has a few more features there as well. So which one of these do I recommend? It really depends what you want. So I would say overall, the features are fairly similar. If you're on a budget and you're someone that you don't want to be spending any sort of extra money, especially this time of year during the holidays, I would go with the OhSnap 4 because it does a lot of the same things that the OhSnap 5 does. However, my personal favorite is the OhSnap 5 simply for the fact that you can remove, As I see here, very strong magnet on here. I'm trying my best. There we go. You can remove this. And I think that's a huge feature. And you're not using glue. We know all the research out there with chemicals and everything else. They advertise this as adhesive free. So that I think is kind of neat that you can pull this off. Here's the other thing that they advertise on their site, and they might just be referring to iPhone users. But here, I have one of these MagSafe chargers. This does not charge through. I know on their commercial and everything else, they talk about how these do work and they do charge through. I've not been able to do this on the Android devices. And keep in mind, Android does not have built-in MagSafe clips on their actual phones. You have to get a case to make it MagSafe. So if you look here and I take this off, you'll see there's the MagSafe case. It's really weird with Android. They have MagSafe ability on it, but it's not built in the phone like the iPhones are. So you have to get a separate case that has MagSafe on it, and that's where this is going to snap on and it's going to work great. But like I said, you can't use a charger on this. So if I ever want to use this MagSafe charger, I actually have to take this off to get it charged. So what's easier? Pulling this off, which has glue on it, and I got to keep putting it back on and on. It's going to eventually wear out the adhesive that's on there. This one will never wear out because it's got the magnet. So that alone is a reason for me to buy it. One thing I should mention about the OhSnap 4. So when I first got this on my MagSafe phone, I didn't want to use the glue for it to stick. I just wanted to use the magnet. And it worked great for a while, but then what happened was the spinning feature on here kind of got stuck because it didn't have enough grip to do the actual spinning. And what ended up happening was I actually broke a little piece of this on the inside. So there's like a little bit of a dent in there. You can't really see it here in the camera, but one of the legs right here has been kind of pulled out a little bit. I basically had to glue it on, use the glue, as opposed to having the cover on because it wasn't strong enough. It stopped doing the spinning thing. So pretty much if you have the OhSnap 4 and you don't have an iPhone and you're using an Android, you have to take the cover off and put the glue thing on there because the magnet just isn't strong enough. So that's another like small thing. I'm also one of those people that I'll spend a little bit more to get the better product, the one that's going to last longer. So I think for me personally, I do like the OhSnap 5 and I prefer it a lot more over the OhSnap 4. But if you're someone that's just getting this for a first time and you're not, don't want to spend any extra money, I think the OhSnap 4 is totally fine too. Again, there's not a huge difference. I've heard some people talk about how this one being a little bit thinner is better than this. I haven't noticed a difference, honestly. Makes no difference to me whatsoever. So I don't think that's a big deal. So let me know if you own an OhSnap 5 and let me know what are some of the things you like or don't like about it. And same thing with the OhSnap 4. But I would say if price is not an issue for you and you're looking to upgrade from the 4 to the 5, just get it. I think this will last longer because you're not having to take the glue off. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at Lynch on Sports. Make sure you subscribe to the channel here and make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. My name is James Lynch. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you next time, and thanks so much for tuning in.